the title of my presentation is investigating language assessment literacy needs of Japanese secondary school EFL teachers. I chose this topic because development of language assessment literacy, abbreviated as LAL, is challenging, especially in Japanese educational context, where EFL teachers' assessment expertise is not sufficient, and teachers often struggle to do classroom-based assessment, abbreviated CBA, and formative assessment. So the study explored why they are struggling for doing CBA, formative assessment, and how we can support the teachers in the future. So first of all, in the previous literatures, LAL has been defined in many ways, but here the study adopted Davis' 2008 definition of LAL as assessment knowledge, skills, and principles. Focusing on Japanese EFL context, as you know, Japan is famous for its exam-oriented culture, so which makes it difficult to do formative assessment in classroom and difficult for teachers to enhance LAL. So also there is very few teacher training opportunity about language assessment. So while as for research, while existing research on Japanese LAL offers valuable insights, three limitations exist. Okay, first limitation is contextual considerations. And much research has primarily focused on characteristics of Japanese EFL teachers, but leaving other contextual factors affecting LAL in Japan underexplored. So both individual and contextual factors, including other stakeholders' perceptions, should be examined. And the second limitation is specificity of needs. The previous research claimed that Japanese EFL teachers have difficulty in doing a formative assessment, but there are no indication of why they cannot do this. So we need to clarify the reasons. And the third limitation is methodology and data analysis. The existing LAL needs research relies on surveys or questionnaires that focus on beliefs, confidence, and efficacy. So mainly employing a quantitative analysis by questionnaire. But we need to delve into complex factors using qualitative method, including future professional development, which is necessary for teachers. So in light of these situations, analyzing both teachers and other stakeholders, individual and contextual factors can help provide practical understanding of teachers' necessities, lacks, and wants regarding LAL for the future professional development programs. So I set up two research questions. Our first one is, what are the specific gaps in Japanese secondary school EFL teachers' LAL knowledge, skills, and principles, seen from an activity theory perspective, which I explain the theory later on. And the second one is based on the above, what specific LAL training is most needed by Japanese secondary school EFL teachers. This study is designed to explore particular LAL needs within its real Japanese educational context, collecting data from multiple stakeholders with diverse perspectives. For EFL teachers with different school types and different experiences, and two department heads of English department heads, and two educational board members and two researchers that major in testing and assessment. And data analysis was performed using thematic analysis, identifying the recurring patterns and meaningful themes within the qualitative data using several coding schemes. So the underlying approach is ecological approach, which views teachers' LAL as being shaped not only by individual characteristics, but also by dynamic interactions with broader environment, including school policies, resources, and environment. So I used activity theory, in which we understand the context of human activity in terms of some elements. This is conceptualized by Engeström, 1987. This is very old, but still, it's very usable theory. So in this study's case, subject, okay, this one, the left in the middle, the subject is teachers participating in this study. Then the right here, object is their acquisition or improvement in language assessment literacy. Then tool and then top here, tools, also called mediating artifacts, include assessment tools and materials, or intervention for raising the teacher's language assessment literacy, like how to make rubrics and workshops, training programs, and then practical toolkits. And then and the bottom community here comprises the network of teachers and institutions. For example, a school community and relationship with educational boards and a teacher community, or relationship between teacher and students. So the community is affected. And then the right and the bottom here, division of labor, refers to the distribution of tasks and responsibilities among the individuals and institutions involving in giving assessment literacy to teachers. Then the rules here, the left bottom here, represent the norms and customs and expectations that govern teachers' action. So these 6 elements lead to outcome, which is the improvement of the teacher's law. This is the overarching achievement the activity seeks to realize. So based on these elements, the questionnaire items and semi-structured interview items are produced, which explore teachers' language assessment literacy needs, lacks, wants, and to identify phenomena not easily observable. Also, the semi-structured interview was designed to delve deeper into participants' perceptions by following up on the questionnaire result, seeking further clarification. Okay, pick up one thing from the questionnaire. To what extent do you feel a school provides you with the instruments you need to effectively assess your students' English knowledge? Yeah, this one is just a situation, to identify a situation, and to what do you need? Okay, then it lead to the preference for future training session for assessment. Okay, and from the questionnaire result and the coding in the interviews, the analysis revealed six key themes here. I'm sorry, this is very small letters. The 6 key themes here. The first 3 themes align with the findings of previous studies. Okay, this says limited school support, and this one, challenges in implementing formative assessment, classroom assessment due to high stakes examination. And this one is the lack of teachers' assessment knowledge. Okay. So these were already claimed by the previous literature. However, the other 3 more themes here provide deeper than previously unexpected things. So, which offer understanding of the contextual factors. So this one said different assessment instrument use, the divergent assessment approaches according to school types or school achievement level. And this one state a different, the teacher's individual or unified way of assessment, contrasting assessment practices and perceptions between experienced teacher and novice teachers. Then the last one here, I think this is the biggest finding of this study. Okay, solicitude about teachers' hectic situation. So administrator hesitate to enforce unified guidelines due to teachers' workload. This is very effective to the reason. Okay, it's actually intricately mixed with individual skills, environment, and school system. So just pick up some real voices to answer research question 1. There are some gaps between the tools and division of labor. The most impactful thing is administrators' ostensible support, coupled with their reluctance to impose pressure on teachers due to concern about teachers' additional workload. So while the school board plays the role of providing assessment guidelines, the board leaves an actual implementation to the teachers. And as a result, the tools and instruments are not being used effectively. So this can be understood by the comments like here, that the reality is that the board members ask the teachers to refer to the manual, and based on this core assessment material, and we leave assessment up to classroom teachers. So which means, so we provide the things on the surface, but it's up to teachers, up to schools and teachers. Yeah, they don't force the teachers to use the guideline manuals. And the department had also embarrassed to force teachers to use formative assessment instruments and care about teachers' busy situation. Comments like, oh, the teacher are really busy, and before they can think about English education, their duties come, so they don't have the energy to put in new things. That's a real voice. There are also gaps between community and division of labor due to unchanging school policies and traditions. So for example, department head in private school said, so the culture of this school has long been that there has been no sense of unity, blah, 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 blah. Okay, as I don't have much leadership, and I'm like a carrier pigeon between the principal and teachers. Individual idea for assessment is respected, and how she or he uses the mediating artifact tools are left to the discretion of individual teachers, especially in private and national schools. On the other hand, uniformity for using ready-made assessment instruments is pursued in public schools. And the educational board also think of this situation unchangeable, this shows the gap between rule and object. Okay, especially the formative assessment, the summative assessment over formative assessment. So the one educational board said, we have no choice but to keep the final exam in order to maintain a certain level of objectivity, maintain the flow of traditional way up to until now. So that's the comment, the gaps between rule and object. And classroom teachers also said the reason why they are struggling to do formative assessment and continue only summative assessment. So the one teacher said there's a test, and the final thing is evaluation. Final stage is evaluation. So they don't know so much about the formative assessment. And the impactful thing is stated by the teaching in the public school. So what I'm most careful about now is accountability. So I need to, it's important to give clear explanations to questions from parents. So, so based on these comments, ecological approach, we found some difficulty in individual contextual issues, such as the teacher is too busy to do CBA, and traditional community in school, which emphasizes only summative assessment and accountability, and administrators' hesitancy to have teachers do CBA. Okay. So the study can outline 3 key areas for potential future professional development needs as answer to the research question 2. The first one is immediately practical workshops, sometimes using technology, in which busy teacher can use a formative assessment tool from tomorrow. I mean, so for example, researchers and an institution will hold short workshops and create tools that busy teachers can quickly understand and use in practice, such as, for example, 10-minute YouTube about CBA, or 1-page formative assessment sheet, and the use of AI to create rubrics, something like this. And second one is administrating training for administrators who should play more leadership role in schools. But since administrators are hesitant to give advice to teachers, so it may be necessary to hold workshops for leaders on how to encourage CBN and enhance law. And third one is the implementation of collaboration of enhancing assessment literacy to improve school policy in a bottom-up manner. In the real situation where the strong tradition, only summative assessment is passed down from experienced teacher to novice teacher. The tradition of only providing instruction for exam preparation, the neglect of the assessment autonomy for individual teachers, especially in private national schools, a system that provide opportunity for teacher collaboration and allows them to propose ideas to administrators would be a good idea. Okay, so in summary, in summary, in this study, theoretically utilizing activity theory and the ecological approach to eliminate the dynamic relations between teachers, other stakeholders, they are engaging with assessment and in the wider context. In terms of practical contribution, this study made it possible to start planning possible future practical professional development about assessment, such as in the collaborative workshop, technology-based assessment instruments, leadership workshop for administrators. Something like this. Okay, I hope this study will help provide information for the future law development. Okay, the future, of course, and the future research will be conducted with more participants in an attempt to generalize the result, and longitudinal research to see the dynamic progress of teachers' law is needed. Okay, so that's what I did survey about the language assessment literacy. Okay, thank you for listening. Okay, if you have any comments and a question, welcome. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I have a question. It's okay. Of the 3 sort of recommendations or solutions that you came up with, the practical workshops or the training for admin or the collaboration with, with the teachers collaborating together and trying to get a kind of bottom-up change to policy, which do you think could be implemented with the most, maybe, ease? Maybe that's one way.
Ease, everything is very difficult actually, but the first thing we have to we can't start is the collaboration. I think it's take a long time to produce the digital way or online workshop, and so the first thing we can do is to collaborating workshop held by administrator. I think the communication among the teachers and administrators. Yeah, administrators. From the real interview, I found that the administrators are so embarrassed to communicate with the teachers in classroom. The distance is very far, So the administrators are sometimes hesitant to force teachers to do the assessment, the classroom assessment. Yeah, they concerned about, that's too much for teacher. They hesitate about that. Yeah, from good intention. Yeah, but yes. So administrators and teachers communicate more, and then I think they can produce some good idea for the more good assessment way. Yeah, by collaborating workshop. I think this is the first step. Okay. Then the researchers and other the experts produce or create the very short workshop or digital based workshop. That's the second step. That's what I think. Yeah.
Interesting. And just one more brief question, if I may. Do the administrators and the teachers tend to have the same background? Are the administrators coming from a teaching background, or are they administrators from day one?
In most cases, especially in the public school, the classroom teachers are they're promoted to the administrators in most cases, so that they must they must have known about the real thing. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other hands up that maybe I'm not seeing?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And as I'm teaching in a private junior high school, so I felt that this is a real situation. And I have a question about the implication for pre-service teacher training. So your implication was focusing on like in-service teachers and administrators. And I want to ask you, what should be taught for pre-service teacher candidates in the university?
Well, yes, I think it's a very good question, very important question. Yes, they are in a real situation. The novice teacher, once the pre-service teacher become the real teacher, the novice teacher learned how to assess from experienced teacher. The experienced teacher know about the very traditional knowledge, So the assessment way is not changeable. Okay, so I think personally, in pre-service teachers should know the assessment theory within the teacher training period, in the maybe junior or senior period in 3年生 or 4年生. Okay, in the teacher training course, they should know about the basic fundamental assessment theory. Then that they bring this knowledge skills to the real school context. That's the ideal thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, because the assessment method is different across schools and the student levels. So learning theory is also important.
True. That's true. Yes. That's a very big gap. I found that big gap from my research. Yes. So the basic, if the pre-service teacher know the basic theory of assessment, I think they bring a better assessment in the future. Yeah. Ideally. Yeah. I agree.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, are there any other questions? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Dr. Miyazaki. We really enjoyed your presentation today and learned a lot from it. Thank you.